Hey, what's up? It's Mike from Raven Woodworks. Today I'm going to teach you how to build this super simple spline jig that's going to give your boxes a little added detail that might set you apart from the crowd. As far as spline jigs go, this is about as simple as the designs come. It's fast, it's easy, it's made with scraps, but it works. That's important. So let's go over the table saw. I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. Proven. So let's start assembling this bad boy. Oh, well, first of all, you're going to want to mark a center line at the bottom of your backboard. This is at 6.5. So I am going to take my square, get that perfect, take a line up that way, and the line up that way. So what that's going to do, we're going to take that 8-inch board. Let's see what side we want. Let's take this side. We're gonna line that up right with the bottom of the board, because this right here is gonna give us a square surface, so the jig won't want to tip over on us, and that's important because if your jig starts tipping on you on a table saw, it's gonna mean bad news later. So you want this thing to be stable, so this has to be flush with that. And something else you might want to think about for preparation, you might want to put a center line on this as well. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put this on the bottom so we know where our screws are going to go when we drill through it. You don't have to use screws, but if you don't have the time to clamp and glue, that's what I suggest you do. Just got to make sure you don't put them in a place that whenever you're making the splines, this blade doesn't hit the screw. You're gonna get sparks, could be a dangerous situation, and it's probably gonna chip your blade. So we got that. So we'll put a couple screws here, and we'll pre-drill all those and countersink them so they don't mess with the fence. So I know I don't want screws to hit my blade, so I am going to make sure I don't put any screws within 2 3/4 inches from the bottom. So let's mark that. Okay. So we are going to put, I'm going to use that as a width. Next up, we're going to put 2 pilot holes in the 8-incher. We're going to put one over here, one over here. Now, you don't have to use screws at this point. If you do have screws in here, you're always going to have to be aware of where they are and how your fence is set up so you don't hit these screws later whenever you're making the splines. Just keep that in mind. A little bit of glue on there. So if I ever decide to take the screws out because they're in the wrong spot or something, I can rely on that glue to be there to keep holding it. I just don't have the time to glue and clamp right now. Alright, so then you got that piece. Alright, now let's attach that bad boy to the backboard. So get a couple clamps and put those pieces together on the backboard and make sure everything is square. That looks good. If your box is square, it should turn out well. Make sure the back is square. You want it to be square to the fence. It looks good. Alright, now you can start tacking in those screws and you are almost done. That is square, looks good. This is square, looks good. There's no wobble really. And the last thing you're going to want to do if you use screws, make sure you clearly mark them so you do not hit them on the table saw. Don't go closer than this point right here, and avoid this area right here. So my blade height is at 1.5 inches, give or take, whatever you want to do. I know that this screw is 1.25 inches from the outside, so I'm setting my fence at 2 inches just to make sure. That's your spline jig right there. Now you can always move the fence wherever you want it, and you can also put a spacer in there if you ever need to cut where the screw is, which could potentially be a problem sometime. But no matter what, you can make this jig work to fit your needs. Spline jig, easy as that. Like, subscribe. If you have any ideas for videos, address it in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Deuces. Or just one deuce. One deuce. Two deuce. Deuces. Deuce.